the previous videos, and we are underway at starting at level 18.
All right, here we go. The finals are upon us. This, of course, is a best of 5.
Chris Brady is the clear favorite the way he's playing this weekend, but as we see, it takes one misdrop and you are out. Not a lot of room for error.
A great start by Chris. It looks like Pete needing to do a little bit of cleanup. He gets there.
Not a problem for Pete. Now, if I were cool, I could rip out a Slayer reference, but I don't know that many, so I won't.
Will it take a divine intervention for Pete to win this? He smiled. That's all I wanted, and that's the last Slayer reference I'll make. And he's shaking his head with
goddamn
with good reason.
Sorry for the French. Both players looking slightly messy. Both players just under 40,000. Now with that long piece, Pete decided to take it to the left, even though he had a tremendous sort of valley on his right side, and now he's got to clean that up. Chris is looking great right now. The key is to keep it under the next box. If it gets much higher than that, you need a miracle to stay alive. None of our players are big hyper tappers, so that really isn't going to come into play at this tournament. Both players are relying on dash charges, and you really have to master the timing of the dash charge at level 18. You have to keep holding that controller over left or right before the piece appears on the screen. And you see that momentary time between the one piece sticks and the next piece appears. If you're not pressing in the right direction before the piece appears, you're not going to make it at this speed.
High level commentary right there.
Well, thank you.
Great placement right now by MetalBeast as he
is in the hole, but he is okay for a long haul. We're not going to have to worry about a quick top out for either player.
He mentioned to me earlier that he is perfectly fine being in this kind of position, but there is a big misplacement there by Chris.
And as we said, all it takes is one little tiny mistake. He can handle it. That square should help him a bit. He's got some major cleaning to do.
Now he's going to need another line, and he gets the other line right there.
If he could get a T, he's not going to go for the T-spin in that place with only a 3-frame window to put that in. He does have about a 3.5 Tetris lead at the moment. And
those squares really came at an inopportune time for him, it seems.
This is some masterful cleanup work.
Meanwhile, Pete is just cruising right now on a great board.
He's taking advantage of this of Chris Brady's mishaps. He's still behind by about 3 Tetrises.
But give Chris credit, it looks like he's really managing this.
That's some good emergency play there. That is extremely tough to do at level 18 at that height. And he's getting in danger again. If you just don't get the pieces, you can't clean sometimes. And that's a nice triple.
Beautifully done by Chris.
Meanwhile, Mike is Pete, not Mike. My bad. Pete is about to take the lead with the Tetris here. That's amazing. And Chris, but it looks up, there it goes. Oh. Boom, Tetris for Pete to almost take the lead. They are a virtual tie right now. And there it is.
One, and you mentioned it earlier, that one misplacement essentially costs Chris about 120,000 points.
But he is still alive. And we are approaching the transition, and it becomes a different game at the transition.
Jazz in Twitter says good survival there. Fantastic. We can echo those sentiments.
Boom, Tetris for Chris, what a comeback. This is the type of match we want to see in the finals.
Business is picking up here in game number 1 of a possible 5.
You want that free trip, you earn it. We're not going to give it to you. And boom, Tetris for Pete. He's now ahead by about 2.5 Tetrises. And another one. Fantastic. And Brady had to burn so many lines cleaning up that mess. He is already at the transition, while Pete has a good 4 Tetrises to go at the slower speed. But this is not over by a long shot.
Pete's still getting the benefits of a sizable lead after all that cleanup, but Chris back into good position.
And he smartly played, he burned that line for that transition. He could have played it a little bit longer, but he decided to play it safe with the speed increase, and he did it right. So now it's going to be a level 19 game for here out for Chris.
Pete 4 lines away, and he will transition.
He is right in the driver's seat. Now it is now 24,000 points, and it goes up another 1,200 points for every level. But you are quickly running out of time until the kill screen at level 29. Pete with the 420. I had to. Chris with the Tetris at the high level. He's gonna have to do Tetrises at this point. But this is a great first match in the finals. Boom, Tetris for Chris.
Huge Tetris, in fact.
70,000 point difference.
This is a fantastic first match.
This is great. Chris, miss drop. He needs a Tetris bad, and he got it.
Can he survive? Chris in deep trouble right now. Trying everything he can.
Play to get, oh,
and that's it.
Pete survived that onslaught.
Pete ahead on points, able to take game number 1 in our finals.
That's a heck, wow. You see how the game changes at level 19.
But he's a Tetris master.
GG indeed. The Beast with the 1-0 lead. And you know what? There's no rest. The concentration, you got to keep it up again. Here we go. We'll see if they can have another sustained game like that. You'd like to see a kill screen in the finals in this championship. Chris Brady had been cruising this whole tournament, and that was his first letdown, but he still has 4 games to make up for it. And boom, Tetris for Pete to start. Pete deciding to burn the straight line with a triple. Probably the smart play. He's got the game in his pocket. He doesn't have to be super aggressive. And it paid off with the Tetris. Neck and neck. As my friend Chris Tang would say.
Boom Tetris for Chris.
Boom Tetris for Chris. Also, as my friend Chris Tang would say. Both players looking good, and this is where you want to be. This is what you would want in a final. We don't want cheap top outs. And Chris has opened up a 3 Tetris lead, back to 2.
MetalBeast with 2 Tetrises in a row.
Back down to 1.
He's down by 1 Tetris right now in the score. But a great board. Both of them in great position right now.
You hate to see him having to burn a straight piece. And he decided to build up his tower on the left. That's optimal play. And Chris has about a 2 Tetris lead, 2.5. Back to 1.5, boom Tetris for Pete. The Beast. Chris Brady runs marathons, so you know he can hold his concentration for a long time. Exhaustion's not going to be a factor for him. And Pete likes Slayer.
Some people who listen to Slayer makes them feel like they're running a marathon.
Intensity is no issue for Pete.
as both of them have breached the 200,000 score mark right now.
This is a very good pace for both players.
Little burning needed for, or a little cleanup, pardon me, needed for Chris right now.
And that L
He gets
will
the
do
piece
it.
he needs it.
That's a nice cleanup there.
Continued cleanup effort as well for Pete.
About a half Tetris
Game
lead.
2, Pete has that first game in
The
hand.
well is there. Boom, Tetris for Chris Brady.
As he takes a commanding lead at the moment. Last game, it was one bad placement that caused Chris, who was in a sizable lead, to do the amount of cleanup that cost him the lead, but also the second bad drop that cost him the game.
Yeah. He couldn't pull off two miracles. But now he's not firmly in control, he just got a comfortable control. About a 1.5 Tetris lead right now. And then it's closed up by Pete. And Chris has an uncomfortable, ooh, that tower in the middle is ugly.
There's a large, well, burned it just a little bit here, and it'll be a boom Tetris for Chris.
Fantastic, fantastic work. At the 80 line mark. We transition at 130 to level 19 with a 50% increase in speed.
Chris still with the lead, just like he had in game number 1.
Pete's in
has
trouble.
the lead in points, and yes, it looks
Pete
like
is in trouble, and that's it.
that'll be it. Chris takes game number 2. You can tell on his face that he is very happy to be back into this series. We are tied at 1. A round of applause for Chris, and this is a best of 5, remember. So both of them have to win 2 games more in order to book their ticket to Portland, Oregon, and the Classic Tetris World Championships. As game number 3 is underway, we are tied at 1.
Reminder, we're starting at level 18 on all of our matches now. And the first Tetris goes to Pete. Followed up by Chris.
Lots
Punch,
of love,
counterpunch.
lots of love in the Twitch chat for this matchup. It is back and forth, a quintessential seesaw matchup
We love it.
between 2 expert, top-level Tetris players.
We love it. So out of necessity, it looks like Pete's going for the Hauser well.
Unfortunate placement there for Chris right
Yeah,
now.
this isn't
very high.
Dr.
He looks like he'll get out of it.
This isn't Dr. Mario. You can't stack the same piece on one another and hope that they'll disappear. But Chris is in trouble as well. We went from clean to slop in a heartbeat.
Just remember, both these players
Oh, look at
getting
that
right
cleanup
to
job.
it in between games.
Boom,
No
Tetris
rest
for
at all.
Pete. Wow.
And Pete's back into great position, Chris.
Just like that. Hauser Wills are king today.
If you were in this position, Chris, how much time would you have taken in between games? Would you have recouped to take your breath?
Well, first of all, I'm terrible. I would never be in this position. Second of all, I'd try to drink something and congratulate my opponent and try to take a deep breath and go. I'd rather just go rather than try to stop and think, because there's also the atrophy effect, I guess you could call it, of sitting for too long. But I don't think we let you sit that long. You just kind of go. But, uh-oh, Chris, that's a bad-looking flagpole there. And boom, Tetris.
MetalBeast in great position there after that Tetris. Chris needing to do a little bit of cleanup. Hoping to get back into position here. They are tied at 1 in the finals. And Pete is just playing very smooth, like an orchestra right now.
Yeah, I mean, so here's your choice. You want to look at a very super clean game, or do you want to see hyper emergency, oh my God, I need to get out of this mess play? And that's what I'm watching with Chris Brady right now, who's doing great. He's going to take this tee and get a nice double, and he's got it down to a manageable stack. Meanwhile, Pete is taking full advantage of this opportunity. to expand his lead. He looks like he's ahead by about 3 Tetrises.
Chris able to get back into it though. In some ways, the momentum can shift in your favor sometimes if you're able to clean up in an emergency situation. Am I wrong?
Oh no, that's if you clean up well, you can set yourself up for later on, because the big points come after level 19 if you can survive and have a good stack to go when you get to 19. Building a lead doesn't always matter at level 18 play.
A very high well building there for Chris as he desperately searches for that line.
He's waiting for that line.
The RNG not doing helping him out at the moment.
Now he's in trouble. And again, Pete just smooth.
There was the line, but he did not put it into the well.
But,
oh, and there it is again.
Boom touches for Chris Brady. He's got a ways to go now, but he is back in it. At least he's somewhat safe. Meanwhile, just beautiful play. Not quite max out pace for Pete, but you don't need it in this game. Just stay alive, get to the transition low, and keep the pressure on Chris to have to perform. And there it is, boom, Tetris for Pete, for the Beast. Boom, Tetris for Chris Brady, he's cleaned all the way up again. He's down 150,000 points.
What a great matchup we're seeing here.
This is what you want to see in the finals.
It feels like every game has just gotten progressively more and more entertaining.
I love it. And another for Brady, just back and forth. This is great stuff.
Just the positioning there by Pete right now, still incredible positions.
We are getting close to that transition.
Chris is 8 lines away from transitioning to level 19.
He's got to clean up fast because you do not want to be there at level 19. And Pete is just pouring it on. 360,000 at 120 lines.
This does not look good right now for Chris.
He's got an open well for 1 Tetris. He's going to need it now, and he got it. So now at the transition, he's got to clean up, but it's at a manageable height. The number 1 seed has had a fantastic week, but he's going to have to earn that championship. And Pete just keeps going.
But Chris got himself out of it there.
Again.
He's in great position for level 20. And now Pete is transitioning.
He's going to need a lot of Tetrises between now and level 29. And he's just not getting the pieces. And a miss drop again. And there it is. That's going to do it. I think
Pete will take game number 3. A 2-1 lead. 1 more win. And it will be the MetalBeast that will go to Portland. So both of these competitors have traded victories back and forth. Pete won game number 1. Chris came back to tie it up. Pete assumed game number 3. And here we are now. Game number 4 is underway. Pete with a nice tuck to start things off.
If the trend continues, Chris Brady wins and we go to a game 5. I'm impartial, but I root for the sport, so I want to see a game 5. And a classic left to right, well, stack set up for Brady, and boom, Tetris for Brady. And another for Brady. So he's off to the fast start. Pete's looking fine. Another band is taking the stage. Anybody want to bet if they play NES covers? A little bit of danger for Pete here, but he cleaned that up masterfully. Yeah, Pete's ahead 2-1.
Yeah, you guys didn't miss it.
Beautiful Tetris by Pete. But it is Chris so far with the lead. Chris has had the points lead in the majority of the gameplay, especially early on.
Right.
And it has been 1 or 2 bad drops that has caused his downfall and his losses.
He's a pretty aggressive player, and sometimes that's what happens when you're aggressive. He likes to play fast. But both players looking nice and clean right now. And again,
Gray well, and that's a Tetris for Chris.
both players had the burn. They were getting close to that next box in height. You don't want to go much higher than that at level 18. Chris in good shape, Pete in good shape. About a 2 Tetris lead for Chris right now. Although he's also ahead in line, so like I mentioned before, he's playing aggressively and pressing the action a bit. So if you want to, like, if you were scoring like in bowling, it'd be a dead heat.
That was a triple there for Pete to get back to a favorable position, as he has done.
And boom, Tetris for Chris.
And followed by a Tetris for Pete. Trading Tetrises at this juncture. In game number 4, Pete leads by 1. This is an elimination game. We have reached the elimination stages.
We'll see how Chris handles it here.
A big Tetris for Chris, who now leads by almost 90,000, by over 90,000.
He's had some monster games this week, and I expect to see it. Pete, on the other hand, a little bit of cleanup. He should be able to handle it. But keep an eye on it. And with this L block, he's got it. He's cleaned up and ready for a Tetris. And Brady's had to set up a Hauser well.
Stacking up his L's on the side.
And he should be in good shape to set up for a classic Tetris well. So Chris is ahead by 110,000 points. That is roughly 4.5, 5 Tetrises. But again, Chris is also ahead by 12 lines. So if Pete takes that information and plays it properly, he can make up that difference.
How much would you say these competitors are looking at the other person's score versus dialed into their own screen?
You don't want to look over. Some players do that. But what they tend to do is listen to the commentary, but they won't be able to hear us because of the band. So they're kind of they might be in the dark. And I wouldn't risk looking over.
Chris almost has a 100,000 point lead. We apologize. There is a band playing behind us. We are at a retro expo after all, so you can't expect music. As Chris gets another Tetris, and he's leading now by over 100,000. This was a similar situation that he was in game number 1.
And Chris with both players with the cleanup job, they're looking okay though. Use the T to clean, very good. And we'll see if Pete sets up a Hauser well. Nope, he's gonna keep it down. Chris has transitioned, he's been playing so fast and so aggressive. He's got the 100,000 point lead, which at level 19 is about 4 Tetrises. 24,000 points of Tetris at this level. The point values will continue to climb as the levels go up, but the speed stays the same at level 19.
Speak to the aggression a little bit. I mean, Chris is already at level 20, while Pete has not transitioned to 19 yet.
That a lot of players like to play classic Tetris like pinball, let the game come to them. But some players feel better if they feel like they're pressing. It feels like they're doing something. It feels natural to press down. And Chris is one of those players who likes. Harry Hong also likes to play aggressive.
Is it safe to say that Chris is dealing with the pressure of possible elimination very well?
At this point, you got to say that he is. Both players look great, and from here on out, from here until the kill screen, this is where the game's going to be won or lost. Chris has a sizable lead, but if he tops out now and gives Pete enough time, he can take the lead with knowing if he knows the difference.
And that was a Tetris for Pete, who is now cutting the lead. He's just down to 70,000.
So that's 3 Tetris lead, but it 1 for Chris, so he's back to 4. But we are fast approaching the kill screen at 230 lines.
Beautiful tuck by
Pete's
Pete.
in trouble here. He's going to have to clean, and it's going to cost him some valuable time. Being behind by this much, you got to go aggressive. And Chris has had to transition to an interesting well, but he's going to keep his stack low. I think if he knows he's ahead, he can play it a little safer here and survive all the way to the kill screen.
Pete's still doing cleanup right now, and Chris is in terrific position with a sizable lead.
Keep the aggression up, keep your stack very low, get a Tetris if you can, but just do not top out.
And both players out of the woodwork right now, very low.
Right. All right, looks like a Tetris for Chris Brady. That's going to put it on Bendis. Oh, the pressure's going to be on Pete. He has got to get out of this fast.
Give Chris a lot of credit facing elimination, playing this game the way that he has.
And that's a top out.
And there you have it. Chris
With the
ties it up, and we are going to a final game, ladies and gentlemen.
With the game of the final tournament so far. I believe that's 582 is the highest we've seen in this competition in the knockout rounds. And that's where you want to see it in the finals. You want to see the best games with the best 2 players.
And here we go.
This
game
is it.
number 5.
All the marbles.
Philadelphia taking on New York City. Both from the East Coast and our East Coast qualifiers, looking to find a way to Portland, Oregon, all expenses paid.
Coach.
You just had to throw that in there.
It's a long flight.
Sort of takes away from the drama a little bit, Chris.
gotta cut it a little bit. It's early. Let's wait. Let's build it up, right? You're the professional. I'm not. Okay.
Things are looking good so far. And just speak to right now this environment in a game. We got to.
Chris is in
Chris
trouble,
doing a
but
little
he got a Tetris out of it. He'll use a piece here to cut it down a little bit to get a favorable stack. But again, you want to keep your stack around the next level on the right-hand side. You go much higher than that, and it takes some hyper tapping or some extreme luck to stay alive.
Some in the chat are hoping for a double max out.
We've yet to see a max out and knockout play in any of these tournaments. We want max outs. These cartridges have a limit. Let's see it. Both players are capable of doing it. But oh no, Pete is in trouble.
Pete is in big trouble, and he
double.
topped out,
No.
and that is it. Chris Brady finds his way, qualifies for Portland. He is going to the Classic Tetris World Championships. A round of applause for Philadelphia's Chris Brady, a longtime member of the Classic Tetris scene, and he will be there, folks. He is going to Portland.
Philly strong. Hell of a job, Chris.
We're going to bring Chris over for a post-game interview. The winner sitting down of the very first East Coast qualifier. You breathed a sigh of relief as you sat down here. You must be ecstatic.
He really had me on the ropes there. I mean, like I predicted, it went the distance. Pete's an awesome, consistent player. I didn't see what happened to him. I guess he just had some bad luck or maybe made a misdrop. But, yeah, I mean, he was this close to winning that, and it was tough.
You had some amazing cleanup jobs in the game 3. I don't think that's a game you fell behind, but you cleaned up once, and then I think late in the game, I think you just kind of felt like you didn't need to bother and just kind of like, let's just start fresh and go. That's kind of the way I felt. Is that how you played it?
Kind of, yeah. You're talking about the more aggressive play in the last couple games, basically?
Yeah, you were behind and you had some cleanup work. And
yeah.
It seemed like, okay, you know what? I don't think I can get out of this.
Yeah.
you only have so much concentration.
Right.
So unless you got like a Gatorade in between with a timeout,
Yeah.
which we don't provide, I guess that was your game plan. It was like, let's start fresh in Game 4, and that's how it played out. You dominated Game 4 with the best game of the match, and in Game 5, and Pete was just out of gas.
That might be true to some degree, yeah. I mean, I would say I was still trying to win those games. At the very least, get something out of it. I think there's some value in not just giving up and just kind of fighting through it as best you can. You know, those survival skills, you just never know when you're going to need them. So
you run marathons, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So you know about pushing through mile 25.
Speaking of survival, like, take us through, I think it was game number 1. You had a sizable lead, and then it was just one bad drop.
Yeah.
And then you were playing cleanup in emergency mode. I mean, just
Yep.
take us through the mindset of being able to weather that storm to get the victory.
Yeah. I mean, that's just Tetris for you. I mean, just one bad drop, especially if you have nerves going or something. You know, I mean, it could completely screw up your game plan, and you just got to take a deep breath and fight through it, and that's what I did, I guess.
You guys don't get a lot of practice with top-notch competition one-on-one. It really is a different beast. You know, you see Corian, you see Harry Hung, you see all these great players when they face somebody like Jonas and just can't cut it.
Yeah.
Jonas is such a beast. It's such a tall wall to climb. I think having these regionals like this, get more experience with it, are going to help you guys in the long run. Like, everybody gets better instead of just, maybe somebody will finally top Jonas this year.
I would agree completely. Yeah, the more experience everybody gets like this, the more dangerous we'll be in the CTWC. So, yeah, I'd love to see this event continue for sure.
Take us through game number 4. Pete had a 2-1 lead. You were facing elimination, but you could say that was your best performance in the entire finals. What did it take for you mentally to get yourself not to be too anxious in that moment?
Well, I felt like the first few games I was really playing kind of slowly and timidly, which isn't really my game. Like, I can play slow if I need to, but I'm at my best, I think, Chris, you mentioned it, I play more of like a Harry Hong style, like just slam down the pieces, go as fast as I can. Because I feel like then I'm running on instinct. I'm not overthinking things. When you overthink, I think you're prone to misdrops.
Absolutely.
So I said, like, listen, if I'm going to lose this series, I'm going to do it my way. And so I just kind of put the pedal to the metal, and it worked out.
So you booked your ticket.
Yeah.
You're going to Portland. You've been there before.
Yep.
It's cool that your expenses are paid this time around. That's nice.
For sure.
But just tell us what the practice will be, what the preparation will be. I mean, it's a few months away, but knowing who's going to be there and knowing the challenge ahead, what's that going to be like?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be phenomenal as always. Like, win or lose, I always have just such a blast at CTWC. It's just always a great group of people. A lot of fun. Of course, you want to compete, you want to win, but man, it's just getting tougher and tougher every year. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to practice. I'm going to do my best.
What's that going to look like? How often would you say you? Give me a little detail on the preparation to go to the World Championships.
Well, like I think I mentioned to you before, like, I definitely turn up the practice time before tournaments. I don't really want to talk about how much I actually play because it's way too much. We'll put it that way. But yeah, look, I'm gonna give this everything I have. I want to represent the East as best I can. The championship is stayed in California every year in the existence of this tournament. And so I think it would be really cool to bring it back to the Northeast at some point.
Yeah, can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, well, particularly with Jonas and Harry, it really feels like classic Tetris is dominated by the West Coast. And of course, anybody who lives in America knows that there's a East Coast, West Coast, even friendly, sometimes not so friendly rivalry. So how much does that factor in? How much do you want to represent the East Coast going to Portland? The West Coast, the left coast, and try to win it?
Oh, I mean, for sure. I definitely want to win it, not just for myself, but for the East as well. I mean, I think it's awesome that the Expo here put up all this money, to send somebody out there.
Thank you to Replay FX for covering the prize pool for this. This wasn't our own money. Mark has been fantastic. This is a great convention. It's a tournament-focused convention, unlike say Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which is what we're focused on buying and selling. The big money at Pittsburgh this year with the pinball players. This is a nice fit. I hope this is a good turnout for this year. We had a good 30 players play this year, so being this the first year, so we can keep growing and big shout out, and come out next year and play. It's free.
I will say, just to add, I mean, I go to plenty of retro conventions, and this is one of the largest floors that I've seen. It's very impressive in terms of the number of cabinets here and pinball machines and just the tournaments, and having this here is pretty special too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just a phenomenal event. I probably would have come to this even if this qualifier wasn't here. Like, I came out for the Dr. Mario Championship last year, and that alone was worthwhile, made it worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, it's just astounding. Like, the floor space here, and like how many arcade cabinets there are. All the pinball machines, classic consoles. It's just a really great event. So anybody watching at home, whether you're close by or not, I would definitely encourage you to come and check this out. It's really awesome.
All right, so what's your prediction for Portland? We know what your goal is.
You're sweeping everybody, not losing a single game, right?
I don't know about that.
Maxing out every game.
I will say one thing. Like, today was definitely different for me in terms of tournament play because I came in, I got that really super high score early. So it's something everybody kind of strives to do when they're in Portland, but it's not something I have done for whatever reason. So that's kind of my first goal, I think, is to just go up there, put up a max out or something comparable, get one of those like top 5 seeds, and just put myself in a better position to win. Like, if you have to play like a really elite player, like the second round or something. Last year I had to play Hauser round 2, so that's not who you want to see in the second round. So yeah, that's the goal.
Well, we'll let you go celebrate. I'm sure there's champagne flowing somewhere for you. But congratulations again.
All right, thanks,
and all
guys.
the best in Portland.
Appreciate it.
Hey, great job.
Thanks, man.
See you tomorrow, Dr. Mario.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, the tournaments continue as we wrap up here on the stream. Thank you very much for joining us, by the way. I'll put this in the middle here so we can both share the blue snowball. Mike, as the first ever Eastern qualifier for the Classic Tetris World Championships has concluded. Chris is going to Portland. Chris is sitting beside me. And why don't you just talk about the overall experience, seeing this for the first time, and just the fact that Classic Tetris continues to grow.
It blew away my expectations. I knew there was the core players coming. Vince was here, Chris was here. But we got a lot of new people. Alan, 13-year-old Alan, was an amazing shock, brilliant performance. We had a line of people waiting to get to a station, just like you see in Portland. I was thinking we would have to bark and ask people to come play, but no, everybody wanted to play. Everybody came in and played, and the cutoff score, I think, was in the high 400,000s. I don't have it right in front of me, but that's tremendous for a regional qualifier in a region that hasn't had one of these before.
Can I just give a couple quick shout-outs?
Of course you can.
Awesome. I want to say hi to my fiance back home. I brought home the title. She said the wedding isn't going forward, basically, if I don't...
I have a question. Did your fiance text you and say, how come you didn't mention me? And then you had to come back
I
and...
haven't even looked at my phone yet, to be honest.
Fair,
so this was
fair.
completely my idea. And I also want to give a shout out to Louis Scooey, who gave me some really awesome advice before the tournament. So thanks.
Can you share the advice, or is it private?
It's secret.
All right, secret advice. Fair enough. All right, great.
Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. All right. Well, if the advice was go ahead and win, it's exactly what Chris did. So
yeah,
going back to this tournament and just the community in general, how it continues to grow.
I was really impressed. I was thinking the top 8 scores maybe be in the 300,000s. I didn't think we would get level 18 quality players in all 8 spots at this location, and we did. So that just shows you how much better everybody gets once they see the videos online. Then they're like, I'm going to pick this up and get good. That's what they do. And great, fantastic. I see a bright future ahead for Tetris.
All right, so let's transition to not level 19, but Dr. Mario. That's happening tomorrow. You're heavily involved in that. Take us through that a little bit.
Okay, well, Classic Tetris has been around for 8 years. It was sort of like the spiritual sequel to the 1990 Nintendo World Championships. We had a little 2015 Nintendo World Championships that was based on Dr. Mario. And I made that finals, and I sort of wanted to have the same experience with those core players and grow out our own tournament scene from that. So last year we had about 20 to 30 players, and this year we had about the same amount, but we changed the format a bit, and I hope to grow it. So the Classic Tetris channel is going to broadcast our finals tomorrow. It's sort of the same format as the Portland shows. It'll be I think 20 or so players are going to be in the bracket. We don't know until everybody shows up, but it's going to be a good show. We have some really good players. We had 3 people flying from Denver just to play in this tomorrow. We have Packy, who was last year's champion. I'm in it. Nobody really wants to see me play.
I think Vince
But
is in it also.
Oh, Vince is in it. But
There go the Twitch numbers.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. We rag on Vince. Terrific
But
guy.
we're going to have some great matchups. We discovered some great players last year who were pinball players, and if you know anything about pinball, like that is extremely skillful, and it transitions well to puzzle games, especially Dr. Mario. So tune in at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow for that.
And that's when it's going to begin there. But for now, the Eastern qualifiers for the Classic Tetris World Championships, that's a wrap for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a great experience. I enjoyed this tremendously, and I hope to be back another time doing more Classic Tetris, because at the end of the day, we all love the game, and it's a ton of fun. Congratulations to Chris for qualifying for Portland, and thank you very much for watching on the official Classic Tetris Twitch. Continue to support the community, and we'll see you next time.